Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAA man, Daylight TV, back at y'all with another one. Been a little minute, man. Um, I went through some shit, not really nothing crazy or whatever and shit, but I scratched my cornea and shit, so I couldn't see shit, couldn't edit, couldn't navigate none of this shit. So, but yeah, man, kid back, you know what I'm saying? Minor setback for a major comeback type shit. Um, Happy holidays. Y'all see I got my yeah, you know what I'm saying? Uh so I guess you can call this a mafia material update. You know what I'm saying? The people that the video we're gonna be covering have to do with the first two mafia material pieces I did, which was Walter King Tut Johnson and Ali Zoe Adam. You understand what I'm saying? So as y'all know, King Tut been not so much making his rounds on the media sense, you know what I'm saying? Him and Mac Mom have been doing their own thing and they've been turning up over there too. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely go and support the channel if you haven't already. Um and then you have Ali Joe Adam, who definitely been on his press run, like, you know what I'm saying? Dude done been on Vlad, Cam Capone. He didn't hit all the big joints, and now he hitting everything in between. You feel me? Uh, so yeah, man. You know, like I said, you can call this a mafia material update. Um, and you know, some news you could use. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. We're gonna get into the Judge Fredrick BLOC and King Tut on the Morning Joe show, and you know, we're gonna unpack that or whatever and go from there, man. Hit that like and subscribe, ring that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. It's your boy Daylight TV. Let's get it.
Welcome back. At 90 years old, Judge Fredrick BLOC is re-examining some of the prison sentences he has handed down after 30 years on the federal bench. Sentences he is now deeming as too harsh. One of those prison terms was given to Walter King Tut Johnson in 1997, after Johnson had been convicted on drug, robbery, and witness tampering charges. But as of 2 months ago, thanks to the 2018 First Step Act, BLOC was able to amend Johnson's sentence, releasing him from prison after 27 years. And Judge BLOC and Walter Johnson join us now. Judge BLOC is also the author of the new book with the title, A Second Chance, A Federal Judge Decides Who Deserves It. Thank you, gentlemen, both for being here. Judge, we'll start with you. Talk to us a little bit about that process, that soul searching that you did, and the conclusions you reached that some of these sentences may have been too harsh.
Well, the First Step Act, which was enacted in 2018, changed the sentencing landscape in the United States of America for federal court judges. In that statute, which was a bipartisan statute endorsed by everybody, and to his credit, signed off by President Trump, it gave judges like myself the responsibility to reconsider previously imposed sentences, and if warranted, to reduce the sentences, and even in the case of Walter Johnson, to let him out of jail. I sentenced him to 5 lifetime terms of imprisonment. He was supposed to die in jail 28 years ago. Because of changes in the law, because of his rehabilitation, because of the powers that district court judges now have, I was able to free him.
Hey man, and this is one of the things that whatever I say, you know, you can say what you want or whatever about, you know, Trump or any other president, that you may not wholeheartedly agree with everything or their overall, you know, message or agenda. But sometimes we got to be honest, whether like, even going back to Obama, like whether you were pro-Obama or not. It was some shit that he did, you know what I'm saying, that benefited people. Like it's a certain number of constituents who are happy about some of the things that were implemented under Obama. And there are people who are not. And that's just how it's gonna go. Like you're not gonna please everybody. Like you know that or whatever, if you just had family members, like, you know what I'm saying? But that shit was big, man. They got a lot of people home early, you know what I'm saying, who had like crazy sentences and shit, you know. So yeah, man, I think or whatever that's dope. And I think it's also dope or whatever how he worded it, that it gave judges a responsibility to reconsider like some of these sentences and everything like that. So yeah, man, I think that's a, you know, I think that's a dope I think that's just a dope thing that I don't think it gets overshadowed a lot. And you know, it's enough, like we are 22%, you know what I'm saying, of the population, like when it comes to imprisonment. Like there's a book called The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of break down the statistics of you know, basically how we're such a small part of the world population, but we represent like the biggest portion of incarcerated people. Like, you know what I mean? We have the largest incarcerated population anywhere like in the world, you know what I mean? Because it's a business. But let's get back to it.
Let me ask you this, Judge and Walter. Well, one of the things that I found, you know, I was a big critic of Mayor Ed Koch, but in his later years, he and I formed a second chance program with Professor Charles Ogletree. And I do give credit to President Trump for signing the act. One of the things I think people don't realize is that many people grew up like I did, where it was correction facilities, not just detention centers. And you throw away people's lives by giving them this whole extreme sentence where we should be trying to redeem people that are redeemable. Talk about that, Judge BLOC.
Well, I think that's absolutely correct. We have 4% of the world's population. We have 22% of its prisoners. And that was the motivation behind Congress's bipartisan effort to deal with mass incarceration. We are sentencing people to these indeterminate long terms of imprisonment. Things change over the passage of years, and they're entitled to have a second chance when and if that happens. So this legislation is important, Reverend Sharp, and it has to be enacted by New York State as well. Only the federal government does this. New York State has a proposed statute called the Second Look Act. They ought to enact it. So people who are in jail inappropriately and improperly in New York State have a second chance also.
Walter.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, like that First Step Act or whatever is just federal. Like, you know what I'm saying? It hasn't really affected anyone on the state level, right? Because state, when it comes to prisons or whatever, it varies. The governors are really in charge. That's why when you see them like go through the whole thing of like a stay of execution or like clemency and all that shit, it usually falls on the governor. Like they were waiting for Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, to basically give Tookie Williams a stay of execution. But in true Terminator fashion, he let that ride. You understand what I'm saying? The fact that New York State has, you know what I'm saying, a proposal for something like that, and you know, they're not being as leaning towards it as much as the feds are, you know, it's just kind of wild or whatever, because when you know how rampant and how crazy and overcrowded places like Rikers Island and the Tombs and MCC and, you know, all these spots, you know, get, and then, you know, how you got a lot of people, bro, like getting locked up that shouldn't be locked up. Like, yeah, there should be some penalty, and like Al Sharpton was saying, correction as opposed to detention. You get what I mean? Because even like for me, I ain't make a constant habit of going to jail, but every time I went to jail, bro, like, you know, I understood that there was nothing here, whatever, to correct any behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being detained for something that I did until they feel like I deserve to be back out. You know what I mean? The only thing I learned out of that shit was how the system worked. and that I could do time. You get what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes, like, you put, like, I've seen dudes go in there, like, by the time I started getting locked up, I was already, you know what I'm saying, like, a criminal, right? But I seen people get jammed up on, you know, bullshit charges. Like, for instance, I seen a guy get bagged up or whatever and shit on a possession charge, some powder, right? But he wasn't trying to like hustle or do no crazy shit or whatever. He hooked up with a girl. She wanted to, you know, party. And so rather than like lose out on the opportunity or whatever to, you know, bed the girl, he went in, you know, tried to get a little pack. It just so happened while he was trying to do that, they just happened to run down on the people, whole humbug, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real. Any other time, that shit would have just gone smooth. But what happens is he get 2 years for that, and now he got to go to prison. And, you know, dude, he kind of picked up some personality trait that he may not have had to pick up or whatever if he wasn't put in that survival mode situation. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with whatever. Like, it should be get back to a point of correction as opposed to just detention. That's all these motherfuckers is doing, punishing shit. But let's keep going.
So tell us about you and your second chance and why it is so needed to have the opportunity for many others to have a second chance at life.
The reason why it's so needed is because, like many guys like myself, we made a lot of mistakes in our past. And many times it's because of the communities we may come from, our concept on life. But as we get older and recognize our wrongs, we start to better ourselves. And as we begin to better ourselves and change, it's only right that you recognize the fact that we are working on ourselves and we are trying to become better human beings, and that we're no longer a threat to society or the threat that we once were.
Judge Fredrick, Judge.
Yo, man, shout out to King Tut, bro. Like, you know, it feel good when you see a dude that come from, you know, that background, come from the streets, and he gets on, you know, a platform of this magnitude. And, you know, a lot of dudes can easily throw the suit on, dress it up, you know what I mean, put the specs and, you know what I mean, all that. He already be with the specs and shit anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? The thing is like, a lot of them can look the part, but they can't like articulate it, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bo, because, you know, it just really, to people on the outside looking in, it really humanizes the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, damn, bro, like, you know what? Just maybe opportunities or circumstances or whatever let them down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, shout out to Tut, bro. Like, you know, you be representing for sure. Let's go.
BLOC, do you have do you have a sense of what is holding this legislation from being passed? What's holding it back?
My guess is that it's a political dynamic. I think that the leadership, you know, is concerned about being criticized that they're soft on crime. There's a lot of sensitivity in New York State with the bail reform situation we have, and they're gun shy, and they ought not to be. I mean, it's the right thing to do, and they have to really belly up to the bar. I hope this legislative session will finally enact that statute.
And Walter, tell us a little bit more about you and how you feel about your second chance and what you're doing with it.
I feel great about this second chance. I'm ecstatic. Now that I'm home, I get the opportunity to speak to the youth. I speak to other guys that I know who have made mistakes. I have a wife who speaks to the girls. I've developed a non-profit organization, Champions for Change. And we just want people to know that if you're a human being, you can change. You can better yourself. You know, I want guys and girls who have made mistakes to understand the fact that they are not the mistakes that they've made. And all they have to do is participate in the process of life to become better individuals. And it all comes from choices. You know, you choose better people, you choose better places, and you choose better things. And before you know it, your life will become better. And that's what's happening to me.
That's such an important message. We'll close the conversation with just exactly that. The new book, A Second Chance, a federal judge decides who deserves it, is on sale now. Author and judge Fredrick BLOC and motivational speaker Walter King Tut Johnson. We thank you both very much.
Thank you.
I like that. Motivational speaker, Walter King Tut Johnson. Yeah, man, a long way from notorious Brooklyn stick-up kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's up, bro. You know what I'm saying? MSNBC, yeah, doing big dog shit. You know what I mean? You know, getting that message out there, bro. Got a nonprofit, all that shit. And then it's crazy, bro, but I ain't even think about it. Like, yeah, it's only been 2 months. It was October when you know, he had just gotten out in October when I posted the Mafia Material joint on him. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just in that short time, dude got the YouTube pop, doing the public speaking, you know what I'm saying? Got a nonprofit, you know, like, that's what's up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tut and shout out to Mac Mama, Coach Coco and shit like that, man. Like, y'all did that, you know what I'm saying? I really did that. Like, you know, because a lot of people were saying or had their opinion about whether or not Tut should do, you know, go right away to doing the Vlad joint and all that shit and so on and so forth. But man, you know, some people got their own blueprint. You know, it's like a rapper who says, I don't want a deal, I want to be independent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm gonna write my own ticket. You feel me? So, you know, now doing this is a whole different agenda because they're not sitting here trying to dive like they really unpacking, you know, case law and you know the judges like on both sides, like you know what I mean, the judicial side and the side of the people, you know, who are the judicial process. You know what I mean? So yeah, that shit was cool, man. So we got that. You know what I mean? Like we got that. Shout out King Tut. Shout out Mac Mama. You know what I mean? Brooklyn, what up? So now we're gonna get into Ali Zoe Adams, bro. You know what I'm saying? As y'all know, bro, been out here stirring it up. You know what I mean? Uh, my nigga got them stories. You know what I'm saying? Now, unlike the Jaguar rights and the Gene deals, I believe some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the only part that kind of threw me through a loop is I don't believe that, especially in that time, like that he talking about when Birdman and them was in Miami. I don't believe that Birdman needed anybody to give him 100K to get in no dice game. Like I'm just keeping G off of what I know or you know at least heard about Stunner from reputable people. Not just since he been in the industry, but since he been like outside. You know what I'm saying? Like so. You know, when your whole city is testifying that you was a millionaire at 14, bro, like I don't know, bro. I just certain shit, it just be hard for me to believe everybody lying. Like even the niggas who don't like you don't even like discredit you on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, but on this joint or whatever and shit, bro, he gonna be touching on Mack-A-Zoe. So as y'all know, it's been a lot of discrepancy, you know what I'm saying, within the whole Zoe like politics and everything like that. And a lot of people have spoken out on Ali, you know, the snitch allegations. Well, not really allegations, like he did it. You know, we basically told, you know, some white collar shit. You know, justifying his justification is that the dude, you know, was stealing his bread and all that shit. So, you know, it's a whole like thing or whatever. That's a whole nother thing. I did a video on it already and shit. This one though, like, you know, a lot of people saying that he ain't Zoe Pound, you know what I mean, and all this other shit, or he didn't have the sway within the Zoe Pound like movement that he claimed to have had, you know what I mean. So we're gonna get into it, man. If y'all don't know, TIPPIE had been interviewing a lot of the Ali Zoe Adam naysayers. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, he did the joint with Red Eyes, you know, and so on and so forth. So now it seems like he's talking about Mack-A-Zoe. So we're gonna get into this right quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Daylight TV. Let's get it.
This dude, Mack-A-Zoe, if you did research, he's been locked up 54 times by 24 years old. Everybody say I met him in jail. Yeah, I met him locked up. They just look at him and say he's a gangster. He probably didn't have one fight. Yeah, I know him. I seen him. All right. Huh? Yeah. All right. But he been locked up 54 times by 24 years old. I'm stating that there's a such thing as a jailbird in the street. That's what I be wanting from you.
Wow.
As you see it, because you out here, it ain't easy. You in jail, that's another thing. You cannot dictate traffic, dog. You need money. You ain't got it. Stop. I did 19 years on the streets.
So, okay, real quick. So it sounds like what he's saying is while everybody's trying to debunk, you know, the power that he might have had within the movement, it's like the people who were saying that were saying that he wasn't running things, like wasn't even on the street to dictate traffic or say that they were the honcho head and all of that shit. Now, I'ma just say, from how I always seen it, like, you know what I'm saying, I've heard about Ali or whatever and shit, you know what I mean? Because, you know, but I've always like heard of that nigga as being like a D-boy, like, yeah, he was a Zoe, you know, he's affiliated with Zoe Pound and all that shit. Now, that much I will say, like the public perception in the streets, or at least like what was known, you know what I'm saying, or represented, was that he was Zoe Pound. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they were getting that money and shit. So I don't, you know what I mean, like that. Now, at the same time, I've always known or had the perception, or it's always been like delivered or marketed that Mack-A-Zoe was like the face. You understand what I'm saying? Like of the pound, like he was, you know, within the hierarchy. You know, so yeah, so like I mean that part or whatever, I don't know. Like if he's questioning the nigga gangster, like per the state, whatever and shit. But like I've never heard Mac gangster being questioned. You know what I'm saying? Free Mack-A-Zoe, you know what I mean? But let's keep going.
I wasn't going. I wasn't going. I'm paying everybody and their mama. Lawyers, I spent over $2 million to stay on the street. I stayed. Ain't nothing happened. Ain't nobody say I haven't did nothing. What your wish is a street or a jail say the told. Ain't no street or jail finna call. That's what you waiting on, right? But my when he was out 201, 2099, and I sent him to Mississippi, dog. He in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. He going hard with them, boy. They loving him. But he was my runner, dog. Like I can't spare him, man. He was my runner. There was nothing.
Mack-A-Zoe?
He was my runner. There was nothing.
Okay. So I mean that's what he said in the title. But you know, look, when I be reading these titles and shit, sometimes, bro, it just really be like, you know, I understand the clickbait, and I understand sometimes like you'll watch the video and you won't even see the shit that's in the title in the video. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I just actually hear them say it, I'm like, oh, okay, like he ain't just clickbaited, like, you know what I mean, or paraphrase. That nigga said Mack-A-Zoe was his runner. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my thing, right? Ali, they saying at like his height, like this nigga get 800 bricks every 2 days and shit. You feel me? So if a nigga like, if you running for a nigga like that, you ain't running no little bitty shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you moving big boy weight. So like he calling him a runner, but like nigga, a runner like maybe to him, like how he looking at it, is a kingpin to like 90% of you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit. So I just wanted to put that shit in perspective. Like I could be wrong, like as far as the amount of weight and shit, because I think Booby lead the streets like 97, like late 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like around 97, 98, if I remember correctly. And so they saying my 98, he was already up and running and shit like that. Or whatever. When I did the research on it and shit, he was already in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Fucking around. You know, and I guess he had already been tapped in because you know, Ubi and them or whatever had plays out in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? They like niggas in VA knew about Black Boy. You understand? So, you know, like I don't know, but yeah, that's just what I wanted to point out or whatever with the running situation. Like, you know, you're not talking about a nigga probably running a couple grams here or sell 20 bags here, whatever it is, shit. Like, you know, these niggas out of state, you know, hitting them with them joints. You know what I mean? So he said Jackson, Mississippi, 2000, 99, 2000 or whatever and shit. You know what rapper will be able to verify that? Boo Rashini. Yeah, Mississippi Boo. You understand what I'm saying? Like that nigga would be able to verify if that shit was really going like that. But he definitely would know. Like from Jackson all the way out to Canton, Cracktown, what up? But yeah, let's get back to this joint, bro.
I had 60 wild. They all screaming. I was with him. I was with him. I was with him. You was my runner. You got locked up. He's a dog to me because of the cavalry that he crunk up. And dog, I'm trying to tell you, like I only say
they deleted it or like he kind of cut out. Did he say fuck nigga or foot soldier? Cause then he's saying like, you know, the cavalry that he, you know, so it's like the nigga had like muscle, you know what I mean? And so you kind of put the nigga in position or whatever to access the muscle. Kind of what it sound like, but I don't know. Like he kind of cut out. I don't know if they edited it or whatever and shit. Cause they ain't been editing nothing else. But let's go.
Hey man, I'm gonna get that from you. Send that check because I'm on Lil Haiti. That's it. I don't care what. I hope that go 4,000. I want Lil Haiti to tell me that a nigga they ain't see that was a fraud. He was with Chubb. Hold on, this thing was a Chubb. You have a on Jump saying I was locked up from 93 to 97. You was not out. What am I saying wrong? You wasn't out, my. That's it. Anything you hear, you hearing. That's what's called stories. You can't talk about this. I talk to these from all types of different hoods everywhere.
Yo, my nigga, yo, this nigga Ali though, he a character though. Like, I mean, he is who he is clearly, but like the nigga just Like he's just animated with the shit. It's like he done really got. I think when a lot of these guys come to social media, it's like they gotta, they gotta kind of find like they find that character, they find something that that work. Like what I'm saying, like Charleston White had his thing or whatever and shit, and it's not necessarily like an all around gimmick. Like I think it just them exaggerating a part of their personality, not the story, but just their delivery, like taking a part of their personality, like that hype moment, and making it all the way through. You understand what I'm saying? Because getting that mode or whatever, and they just start going, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you might just get that flow and hit that viral moment, like, you know what I mean? Just not even thinking, damn, I didn't think I was gonna go there. And it's cool to play it like that or whatever if you speaking 100% fact, because then you ain't never got to backpedal and what I'm saying, like do none of that. But nah, the nigga funny though, but it seems like he's saying that Mack-A-Zoe is like locked up. How could he really know all that Ali wasn't doing or is doing? You know what I'm saying? And that basically you just getting, the game of telephone, like literally. Now I be looking at it like this. I don't know what Zoe Pound politics is or whatever and shit. And to be G with you, it's kind of fucked up to see this going on, because I think myself as well as a lot of others, even like different crews or whatever and shit, like we've all heard people say or use the term, yeah, me and my woes stick together like the Zoes, or we stick together like the Zoes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and to see this rip is kind of like, damn, bro, it's like as if you were to see the Lock break up or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like you just kind of have this idea that niggas is so unified, and then it's like you see like the little friction and bickering or whatever. But I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's all I could say for it or whatever, just on the outside looking in, because they kept it so tight. It's like a lot of this information that's been coming out, it's a lot to take in, because it's like, damn, bro, for the last 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas looked at these niggas as an impenetrable, bond. Now, of course, if you from the streets, you know that everybody who are part of something don't necessarily get along. You know what I mean? But at least like you never saw it on the public floor. You know what I mean? Like Zoe against Zoe. Like we've seen Crip speak against Crip. We've seen Blood go against Blood, Latin Kings, like GDs, BDs, like, you know what I'm saying? The whole shit. But now we're just starting to see, bro, it's like nobody's really above it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own agenda. Everybody got their own, mission statement that they pushing. But let's get back to the joint, bro. I don't want to keep.
See the block, them Crips and Blood say he was posting. They saying, yeah, that's post. Man, the post, man. Right? This is what they saying. I was on the streets. Flat was saying we post. Yeah, he post, man. You were locked up. Junk. Junk called me 3 years, dog, on my last vid. I put him with my KK. And I told KK I knew it. I said, record that. We did talk about the music industry. All he talked about is how hell of a I was. And then we burned Mack-A-Zoe up. That ain't nothing. Junk. Mack-A-Zoe would never say Junk name. He would never say, you never heard him say Thump name. He never said nickname. Ask them to say their name. Who are they?
Damn, I seen the joint or whatever with junk, because he was saying something about anybody that was running around with the, I guess, fake Zoe Pound merch. You know, and he went on. It's crazy because now he's saying that he has a recorded phone call of junk, you know what I'm saying? Basically, backbiting, you know what I'm saying, Mack-A-Zoe. And I don't know, but I've never been a fan of whatever recorded phone calls. You understand? Like, because to me, it's like, if you say something to me and I repeat it and there's no other evidence other than what I say and you try to deny it later, I'm just one of them niggas that's very comfortable with the fact that you and I know what the fuck is going on. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't be tripping on that shit. You know what I mean? Tell whatever story you will, bro. The truth will still be the truth after you done saying that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not with no street niggas. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. With these industry niggas, when it comes down to you know, business agreements about, you know, doing business and money and shit like that or whatever. Yeah, some of these slippery ass niggas I gotta keep record. But that'd be cool because usually that's all through text and email and shit like that. So therefore all I need is a screenshot, my nigga. Like, we all know what we're typing, we all know that phones can take screenshots and you can be held accountable for the shit that you say. You know what I'm saying? Like in a business agreement. But as far as like street niggas and getting dirt, like, oh yeah, look what he say about you. Because one thing about me is, I mean, if I'm cool with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? A nigga in my crew, like, you can't come and talk to me about that nigga. Because the last thing that I'm gonna do is go back to that man and tell him what I heard. What might happen is, I'm gonna tell you respectfully, bro, like, yo, that's my man. I understand y'all going through something. I'm cool with both of y'all, whatever and shit, but I know him longer and shit. Like, don't talk to me about, you know, the situation. And then bro end up being like persistent. I'm just saying. I was like, bro, and I'm just saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you just nigga keep going, pop right in this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when niggas see him, got a little shiner and shit. He's like, damn, bro, what happened to you? Like, oh man, this nigga daylight, bro, this nigga tripping and all that. I'm like, damn, tripping, like, that nigga be chilling. Why you just like what you did? And the nigga don't want to tell him, you know what I'm saying, what it's about, because he's standing from the same thing that he was trying to talk crazy about. So now when the nigga asked me about it, I'm not gonna come and tell you what a nigga told you about me, because then the question is, like, what made that nigga so comfortable saying that shit to me? And I just sat here and let him finish saying that derogatory ass shit? I think not, homie. Not me. You know what I'm saying? So now, when the nigga come and ask me, well, I put hands on you, I'm gonna be curious as to what you said. Cause if you lied on me, homie, I'm gonna put hands on you again. But like, this is a whole nother story. But like, yeah, see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all that shit, junk, if that's true, like, you know what I'm saying, niggas shouldn't have that conversation. Like, I don't say anything to nobody that I don't want repeated. You know, I just went through this with somebody or whatever, and I said, like, yo, well, just for the record, maybe that's how you living. I said, but just so you know, I don't live my life or whatever, like, on oh, yo, I'm gonna tell you this, but don't tell nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit, bro. Let's keep going though.
Won't do it. I know that. I'm in the courtroom for him. He shoot the peace sign to me when he come out. He catch 2 life sentences. Hey man, when we get 12 women, nah, just the boys. He's anti-authority. Might see a police, poof, poof, poof. We get pulled over. They say, you ain't you not going to jail. He going to jail. I got you. What you want me to do? We know the streets. I ain't on that. I ain't on my trying to change. I ain't with a wire on somebody. Come on, dog. An informant. Come on, my nigga. We ain't gonna play like that. You ain't never played the levels. That's my homes. You're suing me. Why didn't you keep it on the streets? You're admitting you're suing me. I sued him. What are we doing? Why the game change with me? Why the game? See, so why?
So who's suing Mack-A-Zoe suing them? Or is it somebody else or Junk or one of them? I'm guessing it's for the Zoe Pound, like the name. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what I've been seeing a lot of. Like, you know what I'm saying? This should be, you know, having to do with the name and all that. So, I don't know. Damn, man. Like, yeah, but it's crazy though. I mean, to be suing somebody and then calling them like a rat because they're suing like that. I don't know. That shit kind of crazy.
Why the game change with me?
Mm.
Huh?
I'm listening right now. You going in right now.
Crazy, dog.
Hey, that nigga says cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck 'em.
I'm asking, dog, one thing, dog. My dog. I wish I never met the niggas, though. But Chubb and Solo.
Getting money, serving glee like the.
Damn, man. Well, there you have it, man. Ali Zoe Adam saying that Mack-A-Zoe was his runner, you know, and he wasn't really like, I guess, big, you know, leader because he was locked up most of the time. I don't know, man. Like I said, just, you know, always kind of looking at Zoe Pound as one of those like movements where, you know, dudes was really, you know, tight. I just never thought, you know what I mean, that we would see it spill out. Like every organization, every movement gonna have its friction and, you know what I mean, because it's always different types of leadership, right? But, you know, it's like I was doing the LOC comparison, right? Because when we think about groups or movements that stay loyal or whatever and shit, like of all the groups, like, you know what I mean, them dudes stay together. Now, even they'll say, yeah, but like, yo, we fight all the time and shit. We argue all the time. But, you know, we just don't put that shit on the street. You know? But yeah, it all started with the Vlad shit. You know what I'm saying? When Ali went on Vlad, like Mr. 6 million subscribers now. But and then, you know, because the whole thing was him saying founder or like Zoe Pound co-founder and all this other shit. But it's like in the Vlad interview, he said him and like 19 other like guys that he met, you know what I mean, I guess while doing like his little juvenile bids and all that is how, you know, like the whole Zoe Pound thing started, which according to the Gangland documentary or whatever and shit, which featured Mack-A-Zoe and I believe Blind was on that shit, who we mentioned, you know, in one of these joints. You know, and they were just saying like, you know, it started on the streets and shit. Like, you know what I mean, dudes getting picked on or whatever on their way to school and, you know, dudes forming like Voltron, you know, getting their lick back. So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Anybody or whatever who you know, really versed in the Zoe politics and shit like that, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And also let me know what y'all think about the first video, man. The King Tut and Fredrick BLOC joint, the First Step Act or whatever, and also how y'all feel about the Second Look Act or whatever and shit that's on the table for New York. you know, to kind of give the same leverage or the same leniency to judges to go back and, you know, reverse sentences. Because there's a lot of dudes in New York and shit who got crazy amount of time for, you know, shit that, you know, they probably didn't need to go that hard on them boys for, you know what I mean? And, yeah, man, you know, if you made it to this part of the video, hit that like and hit that subscribe. Ring that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. Happy holidays to everybody, whatever you celebrate. You know, y'all stay dangerous till y'all could be safe. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for them Grinches. They out here trying to take your Amazon packages, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, man, you know, I'll tap in with y'all for the new year, so I ain't gonna hit y'all with the Happy New Year yet. But Daylight TV, let's get it. I mean, I'm out.